Hello guys, I'm back with another video and today we are going to start our book Thea Stilton and the Roman Adventure. So let's begin. Hello, I'm Thea. I'm Geronimo Stilton's sister. As I'm sure you know from my brother's best-selling novels, I'm a special correspondent for the Rodents Gazette, Mouse Island's most famous newspaper. Unlike my Freddy Mouse brother, I absolutely adore traveling, having adventures, and meeting rodents from all around the world. The adventure I want to tell you about begins at Mouseford Academy, the school I went to when I was a young mouseling. I had such a great experience there as a student that I came back to teach a journalism class. When I returned as a grown mouse, I met five really special students: Colette, Nikki, Pamela, Paulina, and Violet. You could hardly imagine five more different mouselings, but they became great friends right away. And they liked me so much that they decided to name their group after me, the Thea sisters. I was so touched by that, I decided to write about their adventures. So turn the page to read a fabulous adventure about the Thea sisters. Colette. She has a passion for clothing and style, especially anything pink. When she grows up, she wants to be a fashion editor. Paulina. Cheerful and kind, she loves traveling and meeting rodents from all over the world. She has a magic touch when it comes to technology. Violet. She is the bookworm of the group and she loves learning. She enjoys classical music and dreams of becoming a famous violinist. Nikki. She comes from Australia and is very enthusiastic about sports and nature. She loves being outside and is always ready to get up and go. Pamela. She is a great mechanic. Give her a screwdriver and she fixes anything. Anything. She loves pizza, which she eats every day, and she loves to cook. Thea Stilton and the Roman holiday. So let's begin. Chapter 1. Final preparations. It was a beautiful day at Mouseford Academy, and one room in the dorm was buzzing with activity. Pam! A voice squeaked from inside a closet. Where's my straw hat with a pink polka-dotted turquoise ribbon? A second later, Colette emerged from behind a rack of dresses. She scampered over to the bed and rummaged through an enormous pile of clothes and accessories. How should I know, Coco? Pam replied with a shrug. There must be around 50 hats here, but I don't see that one anywhere. At least I found these, Colette said. She pulled out a pair of pink sandals from under a pile of handbags. I simply have to bring them. At that moment, Nikki, Violet, and Paulina appeared in the doorway. Are you two ready? Nikki asked as she looked around the room. Whoa! What happened in here? Did a hurricane hit? It's just our Coco, Pam said with a laugh. She's trying to pack her bags. I told her we would only be away for a week. But you know, Colette. I don't care how long we are staying, Colette protested. What matters is that we are going to Italy, a country where fashion and elegance are very important. I need to be prepared for any occasion. Yes, but we are going to Rome for an archaeology competition, not a fashion show. Violet pointed out. A few days earlier, the Thea sisters had learned that they had been chosen to participate in the International Archaeology Games being held in Rome, Italy. A month before that, Amelia Angel, a famous Italian researcher, had been invited to Mouseford to give an intensive seminar on Roman archaeology. The five friends had signed up for the seminar immediately, and after just a few classes, they were hooked on archaeology. Professor Angel gave fascinating lectures about life in ancient Rome. The Thea sisters loved her stories about the incredible works of art that were created during that time period. I know, but I still need to look fabulous, Colette replied as she tried to close her suitcase without much success. Do you remember how much research we did on ancient Roman buildings like the Colosseum? Paulina asked. It took a long time, but it was worth it, Violet squeaked. Thanks to that research, Professor Angel nominated us for the competition. I feel like the luckiest mouse in the world right now. I know, Colette agreed as she sat on her back to get it to close. I was so surprised when our acceptance letter arrived. And just think, we leave today, Nikki exclaimed. She leaned over Colette and snapped the lock on her friend's bag shut. Thanks, Colette squeaked with a sigh of relief. 4 more bags and I'll be all set. I just need to find one last thing. What's this doing here? Paulina asked as she pulled something out from behind the chair cushion. That's my straw hat, Colette exclaimed. Way to go, Paulina. You found it. Great. Pam said, hopping up from the chair. Now I think we are ready to go. Rome is wedding. Chapter 2 Drama in the Air. I don't know about the rest of you, but I can't wait to get to Rome, Nikki told her friends as they boarded their flight. Think of how great it will be, Violet said dreamily. We are going to spend a week in one of the most fascinating cities in the world. It's going to be unforgettable, Colette agreed as she slipped into the seat next to them. This is unacceptable, came a sudden sharp squeak behind the Thea sisters. If I can only travel, if I am sitting by the window, here I'll be squeezed between the two seats. I'm sorry, but the seats are assigned electronically, the flight attendant explained kindly. I already agreed to travel in economy, the mouselet continued, but this is just too much. Melanie, would you like to change seats? The mouse sitting next to the window asked timidly. Oh, all right, the mouse named Melanie huffed. I'll be fine with this that time. But I hope the airline offers me some fresh juice. It's the least they could do to apologize. What an attitude, Nikki commented. Colette and Violet glanced behind them. Then Violet looked more closely at some paperwork in her lap. Violet said. What is it? Nikki asked her friend. Is something wrong? Look, Violet said, pointing at the paper. That's the program for the International Archaeology Games, right? Colette asked. That mouse in the photo. She's on the French team. Violet finished Colette's sentence. And she's sitting right behind us. The three friends leaned over the program for a close look. In addition to the French team, we are also competing against teams from Russia and Japan, Nikki commented. And there's a team from Italy too, Colette added. I hope they can tell us all the places we should visit. I don't think we'll have much time for sightseeing, Coco, Violet warned her friend. The schedule for the games seems really packed. Did I hear that correctly? Came a voice behind them. The mouse named Melanie popped up over their seats. You're competing in the International Archaeology Games in Rome too? That's right, Paulina replied with a smile. Then she stuck out her paw. Hi, I'm Paulina, she said, and these are my friends, the Thea sisters. It's nice to meet you. Melanie looked them up and down from the tip of their snouts to the ends of their tails. It's not worth getting to know you, she scoffed. I can tell you, you'll be the first team eliminated from the competition. And with that, she turned to looking around the window, ignoring everyone around her. I wouldn't listen to a thing she says, Colette told her friends. It's just going to be marvelous, and I just know we'll do well in the competition. Chapter 3 Welcome to Rome. The plane finally landed at Fiumicino Airport in Rome. The Thea sisters and the French students got their bags and headed for the exit. Look, there's someone waiting for us, Nikki exclaimed, pointing to a young mouse. He was holding a large sign that read, Welcome, teams for the International Archaeology Games. Great, Colette said. Let's go. Come on, Pam said to the French team. We can all go together. But Melanie shook her head. We have personal transportation that my father has arranged. Thank you, she replied snobbishly, her snout in the air. At that moment, a well-dressed rodent in a dark blue suit and sunglasses approached. After a short bow, he gestured for the French team to follow him to a silver limousine parked at the airport exit. The Thea sisters headed toward the young mouse with the sign. Hi, Violet said, smiling. We are the team from Mouseford Academy. Welcome to Rome, the mouse replied. I have heard a lot about your school. I would love to teach a class there one day. Teach a class? Colette repeated, confused. Yes, he replied enthusiastically. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Orest, Professor Emilia Angel's assistant. He extended his paw toward Colette and in doing so dropped his sign. Nikki bent down to pick it up. Thank you, Orest said as she passed it back to him. Sorry, I'm a bit disorganized. Don't worry, Nikki replied, smiling. She noticed that Orest was staring the crowd behind her, an anxious look on his snout. If you're looking for the team from Paris, they already left. There was a private driver here waiting for them. Really? Orest replied, a relieved look on his snout. I thought I had lost them. Let's go then. I didn't park far away. Instead of a limousine, a cozy orange van with the local university's logo awaited them. The Thea sisters climbed aboard happily, excited to begin their Roman adventure. Have you ever been to Rome before? Orest asked after they got on the road. No, this is our first visit, the mouselets replied almost in unison. Well, you'll love it, Orest said. It's a magical place, especially if you like archaeology. The van entered the heart of the city, and the 5 mice pressed their snouts up against the windows. There was so much to take in here in the magnificent eternal city. On your left across the Tiber River is Castle Sant Angelo, Orest explained. It was originally built as a mausoleum, but it later became a fortress. Wow, Colette squeaked. Orest turned right and drove down a series of alleys. Then he parked the van near an ancient-looking building. Here we are, Orest said. This is the home of the International Archaeology Games. Go ahead and leave your bags in the van. We can grab them later. The Thea sisters followed Orest into the building. He pointed them down a long corridor. The first door on the left is Professor Angel's office, he told them. Unfortunately, I have to go because I have class. I'll see you later. Thanks for everything, the mouselet called out as they waved goodbye. Then they scampered down the hallway and knocked on the office door. A second later, a smiling Professor Angel appeared in the doorway. Welcome, mouselets, she squeaked happily. Please come in. I'm so glad you're here. The office was similar to the headmaster's office at Mouseford Academy. Though the walls were almost completely covered in frames, the mouselet approached one of the walls, curious. We put up photos of all the previous winners of the International Archaeology Games, Professor Angel explained. Violet said dreamily, our picture could be up there too. We are so honored to have the opportunity to compete, Nikki said. You must be proud to involve so many students each year. It's true, I love the competition, Professor Angel replied. But unfortunately, this will be the last year. Our university doesn't have enough money to finance the games any longer. This is really the last one? Pam asked in disbelief. Yes, but let's not focus on that, Professor Angel continued. Let's talk about what awaits the 5 of you. The games are made up of various challenges held over 2 days. You'll compete against 4 other teams. Tomorrow at 9, we'll meet in the library and Orest and I will give you the instructions for the first challenge. Now, I imagine you want to go unpack your bags and rest for a bit. See you tomorrow. The Thea sisters thanked the professor and headed into the hallway. As they got farther from the professor's office, they heard a voice they recognized. If the driver had managed to find a shortcut, we would have been here an hour ago, the voice squeaked. Something tells me Melanie had a problem with the traffic, Pam whispered to her friends, as they passed the French team. I'm glad we got here quickly, Violet said, yawning. I can't wait to unpack and maybe take a little rat nap. Not me, Colette said, bursting with energy. You snooze, you lose, Violet, and you certainly don't become an archaeologist. Colette winked at her friend playfully, and the other mouselets all burst out laughing. Chapter 4 New Friends. The Thea sisters headed to the dorm in the building across the street. There, they met a guard named Renzo, who showed them to their rooms on the first floor. Will all the teams be staying here? Nikki asked him, curious. Yes, even the team from Rome will stay here during the event, Renzo told them. They are also on the first floor. Here are the keys to your room. He pointed to the 2 doors in front of them. If you have any problems, you can find me here, he said helpfully. Thank you so much, Pam replied. The room that Pamela and Colette chose had a bunk bed, a small desk, and a closet. But where's the bathroom? Colette asked, worried. It's right here, Pam said as she opened a small door. Wow, it's so small, Colette gasped. Where will I put all my makeup? But Pam was distracted by a delicious smell wafting in from the hallway. Do you smell that? She asked Colette. It smells like someone's cooking, Colette replied. A second later, Pam was out the door and hot on the trail of the appetizing aroma. Colette quickly frowned. She followed Pam, and together the friends made their way to the kitchen. A group of mice were busy preparing a mountain of spaghetti with tomato sauce. Hi, one of the mice greeted them kindly. Who are you? My name is Pamela, and this is Colette, Pamela said. We are from Mouseford Academy, and we are famished. Colette jumped in, finishing Pamela's sentence. The mouse burst out laughing. Do you want to join us? He asked. We are making a spaghetti dinner. I'm Alessandro and this is Luca. He gestured to the mouse standing next to him. Then he pointed to three others at the stove. And that's Rita, her sister Flaminia, and Mario. Hi! The other mice all said with friendly smiles and waves. At that moment, the other Thea sisters entered the room. We were wondering where you two had gone, Nikki said. I was taking a nap, but they dragged me out of bed. Violet complained, yawning. Are these your classmates? Luca asked. Yes, Colette replied. That's Nikki, Paulina, and the half-asleep one is Violet. Very nice to meet you, Luca replied. We are all on the Italian team. Make yourselves at home. A moment later, everyone was seated around a large table, sharing spaghetti and chatting. You're Professor Angel's students, right? Nikki asked. We took her seminar when she was there at Mousewood Academy. It was amazing, Violet chimed in. Yes, she's the best, Rita agreed enthusiastically. I'm so excited for the competition, Flaminia said. What about you? Yes, us too, Violet replied. Have you met the other teams yet? Alessandro nodded. The Japanese team is on the second floor along with the Russians, he said. The French team is supposed to be staying on the third floor, but I heard they complained about the dome and they have gone to stay somewhere else. Was the mouse who complained tall with brown fur and green eyes? Colette asked. I think so, Alessandro said. Why? Do you know her? The Thea sisters exchanged a glance. We met her on the airplane, Nikki replied. Let's just say her complaints are nothing new, Paulina added. Well, she made a big mistake leaving, Pam said while helping herself to some more pasta. She missed out on all this delicious spaghetti. Chapter 5. Let the games begin. The next morning, the Thea sisters were the last to arrive in the library. Professor Angel and the four other teams were already there. And finally, the students from Oxford Academy are here, Professor Angel said with a smile. They probably still have their alarms on Whale Island time. Violet, if you hadn't taken forever to wake up, we would have you on time, Nikki said under her breath. Alessandro gave Violet a sympathetic look. I totally get it, he whispered. My friends practically had to drag me out of bed this morning. Violet smiled gratefully. Now that we are all here, let's go over the rules of the games. The professor continued. Orest, her assistant stepped forward. I'll supply each team with all the materials you will need, Orest said. There are two challenges, Professor Angel added. The first will be held today and the second one will be tomorrow. You'll have to follow the clues, which will lead you through Rome. Solve each puzzle as quickly as you can without using the internet. For the first challenge, each team will split up. Two mice will stay in the library to provide research support. The other team members will be out in the field. One of the mice from the Russian team raised his paw. Won't the team from Rome have an advantage? He asked. After all, they already know the city. You're right, Kirill, Professor Angel replied. They may have a slight advantage during the first challenge. To make up for it, the Italian team will start 15 minutes after the other teams during the second challenge. That should level the playing field. Orest handed each team a sealed envelope. Here is the first thing you'll need for the competition, he told them. Nikki opened the envelope. It's a map of Rome, she observed. Violet leaned over to get a closer look. Yes, she agreed, but it's a map of Rome from many centuries ago. That's right, Professor Angel piped up. This map shows how Rome looked many years ago. But why would you need that? Melanie asked, her paws on her hips. Rome looks totally different today. This doesn't make any sense. That's part of the challenge, the professor replied, raising her eyebrow mysteriously. You'll need to make a trip to the past and this map will help. And now, let the games begin. Orest squeaked. He started his stopwatch. The students looked at one another in confusion. But how? Asked one of the members of the Japanese team. Where do we start? Alessandro smiled. I think that's part of the game, he said. It's up to us to figure that out. That's right, Orest agreed. I suggest you split up and get to work. The Thea sisters sat down and began examining the map. They searched for a clue that might serve as a starting point. There must be a way to figure out what the first step is, Colette exclaimed in frustration. Meanwhile, Violet took advantage of the location in the library. She and Paulina grabbed some books about the development and planning of ancient Rome. Here, let's hope these help, Violet exclaimed optimistically. She put two dusty books on the table in front of Pam. Achoo! Her friend sneezed noisily, knocking the map off the table. Oh, sorry, Pam exclaimed. It's all that dust. She picked up the paper and something unusual caught her eye. Wait a minute, Pam gasped. There's something written on the back of this map. It looks like a riddle, Colette exclaimed. Well done, Pam. Nikki chuckled. Just think, we had no idea where we were looking for, and all we have to do was turn over the map. Violet was already busy studying the message. She read it aloud. Julius Caesar's was the very first one, and Trojans was the last one done. Molly mozzarella, what does that mean? Pamela asked, shaking her head. Two famous Roman emperors, Paulina replied thoughtfully. Caesar lived in the 1st century AD, while Trajan reigned more than a century later. What could have been started by one and finished by the other? Paulina, do you have the notebook with our archaeology notes and research? Violet asked. Yes, here it is, her friend replied. Can you find the pages on Caesar? Violet asked. Maybe we noted some great works that he started, but that weren't finished until long after his death. I know. It has something to do with ancient Roman construction. Why, you are a genius, Colette said as Paulina bent her head over the notebook studiously. A few minutes later, Paulina looked up, a smile on her snout. I found it. So only this much today, friends. I had a lovely time reading to you. And this book, I found the most interesting. So we'll continue from chapter 6 later on. So stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for the latest updates. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.